At 17 years old, Zack Kopplin was already fighting to preserve science education in schools. He's our guest on today's BFD. A lot of us got our introduction to activism in high school, probably because it was the first time we learned about some of the world's problems in a way that made us really want to get involved. Sometimes, however, it's the right issue at the right time in the right way, and it goes beyond your high school and starts making big change. One such success story is Zack Kopplin, who as a senior campaigned against a law that supported science denialism in Louisiana schools. He joins us today via Skype. Zack, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's great to be on.
Okay, so first off, tell us what got you started.
So back in 2010, right before I was a sophomore in high school, my state passed the misnamed and misguided Louisiana Science Education Act. And what this law allows is for teachers to bring in supplemental materials to, quote, critique politically controversial science like evolution and climate change. Even if I'm not being taught creationism, when I apply for colleges, no one knows what I've been taught. Our students are not going to be educated in a way that's going to make that's going to allow them to take jobs in, say, the New Orleans Bio District. And so I said, this is a bad law, and there's going to be an adult who takes it on. After 2 years, I realized no one's really speaking out. Someone has to do it, and I think it has to be me.
Where did you start?
So the first step was getting in contact with Dr. Barbara Forrest. We sort of hammered out a plan to lead a repeal. We have 78 Nobel laureate scientists on board with our campaign. The unanimous endorsement of the New Orleans City Council, we've had science organizations, we've had the Clergy Letter Project, but this is much larger than Louisiana because each year we see a dozen copycat bills based on Louisiana's introduced around the country. Creationism is being funded with public money through school vouchers. We've documented potentially hundreds of millions of dollars being sent to private schools that teach creationism across the country. And so I really think with those hundreds of millions of dollars, there has to be some accountability.
And has your age ever been a factor or a concern?
The thing about my age is I can't change it. It'll just change naturally. It's something that needs to be done, and no one else is really saying some of the stuff I've said. My favorite example of this is Michelle Bachmann that said that hundreds of scientists, many of them Nobel laureates, believe in intelligent design. At the time, about 40 Nobel laureate scientists had endorsed our campaign, and now we're up to 78, so 40% of living Nobel laureate scientists. I wondered where her hundreds and hundreds of Nobel laureates were, and I was the right person to ask her.
Is this going to be the cause of your life?
I want to see $1 trillion of science funding in a decade. If we fund science, it's going to pay itself off. We hear about, our debt's $16 trillion. We fund science. We can go into debt to fund science because we'll return money. It's sort of a smart investment. That's what we should be doing if we really want to solve the long-term problem of debt.
So another thing that happens a lot with science denialism is, of course, all of the issues revolving around climate change.
It's become a major facet of what's being stuck in these bills. We need to do something about it. Part of that is teaching our kids about climate science, so maybe we can get some of these carbon particles out of the air.
For the senior class student with a cause, what is your advice?
I was so shy I couldn't talk to a stranger on the phone, or even I felt uncomfortable sending an email to a stranger. I realized I'm proud of what I'm saying. I'm 100% behind this cause, and I'm not afraid to do this.
So Zack, how can people get involved with your cause?
We're organizing the movement we're calling it the Second Giant Leap. Call your congressman. Tell them to support a Second Giant Leap. Tell them to fund science. Call your legislators and say, vote against the creationism bills. Tell them, vote against vouchers that fund creationism or have strong accountability for them. Take direct action.
Well, thank you so much, Zack, for joining us.
Thank you. It was great to be on.
Zack is fighting against people who deny climate change. So if that's not you, and it shouldn't be you, click the link below to take action to tell President Obama to take climate change seriously in his second term. Zack will be proud. Finally, if you're a young person who's passionate about something, we want to hear about it, so tell us in the comments below. For BFD, I'm Marisha Ray. Thank you so much again to Zack Kopplin, and don't forget to subscribe.